taking you off the board.
Give it your best shot, soldier.
It'll be right between the eyes.
Fight! Finish him! Fatality. Rambo wins.
Alright, what's up everyone? MK Tom Brady here. In this video, I want to give you guys my reaction to Rambo, which, by the way, spoiler alert, I loved it. He's freaking awesome. And I'm also going to do a full, complete breakdown of everything we just saw. So just on the surface here, just initially, the character looks amazing. I was really worried about, like, you know, let's say, take a character like Terminator. I was hoping to see moves like, you know, his grenade launcher, his Gatling gun, etc. And they got a lot of it, but not quite all of it. And I was, you know, when it comes to guest characters, especially ones from the movies, you kind of wonder, are they going to be able to capture, like, the entire essence of the character? Like, are they going to, you're going to look at this character and say, all right, this is Rambo. The Rambo I grew up watching in the movie theaters. Is it the Rambo that we all know about, that we think of Rambo, this is what we get? They absolutely delivered on this character. This character has got literally all of the signature moves that you associate with Rambo. I absolutely love how they made him look. I love, like, all the moves they gave him. Just absolutely, like, amazing. I'm literally blown away with just everything they gave him and how awesome he looks. Especially in that fatal blow, how it zooms right in, right as he's firing that bow. That is such a classic, iconic shot from the Rambo movies when he loads that arrow and he loads it up and he lets it loose, how they zoom in right on that close view. I love how they captured that. It was absolutely awesome. I can't say enough good things. But what I can say is that we're going to break down all of this right now. That's right. We're not doing a reaction and then later on release analysis. We're doing it all right here, boys. All right. So what I want to look at is one thing that I noticed right off the bat. He has a normal hit launcher. Now this is really, really good to have because it looks like it starts with a high, which makes a lot of sense because most do in this game. But having a normal hit launcher, just as a Punisher in general, or maybe like, you know, you jail somebody off of advantage, this is a huge tool to have. You're able to punish somebody and launch them, and they have to spend meter to escape, but you're able to do damage without spending any meter at all. This is really, really good. The way they do his weapons in general, is kind of interesting. So here's a projectile here. This is his bow and arrow. This looks to be like a stance here. So you see how he has his knife out, and then he puts his knife away, and then he holds his arrow and his bow, and he's able to like stay in a stance and shoot multiple bows at you. So I'm guessing while this is a zoning tool, it's also like its own stance. Maybe you might be able to do like different things with it, shoot it up, load different types of arrows, reminiscent of how Green Arrow kind of was in Injustice. I really, really like this. I think this is really interesting how I guess his combat knife is more hand-to-hand, and then he can switch to other weapons for other tools for other situations. So again, I really like how they're doing this and how it gives him options and freedom based on the situation. Do you want to fight from range and pull your bow out, or do you want to have your combat knife out and be more hand-to-hand? Next, we're going to look at his guns here. This is, again, awesome. He pulls his guns. There's not even any leaves here. It doesn't matter. When you're John Rambo, it doesn't even matter. He pulls his guns right out of the ground and just blasts you right in the face. So again, I love this. Puts his combat knife away, pulls his guns out, and guns you down. Double machine gun. Absolutely awesome. I love this. I absolutely love this. I love especially how he pulls them out of the ground like out of nowhere. One of the jokes in the early Rambo movies used to be Rambo would, like be doing whatever and not have any guns in his hand, dip into the bushes or into the water and come out with 2 machine guns. That used to be one of the jokes. Or like he would be running and he would have like guns like stashed somewhere in the forest. This is an awesome play on that, and I love how they did this. So Rambo, as an up-close character, you would expect would have grappling abilities. This right here is an attack throw, I believe. I also believe this right here is an attack throw. So I'm going to say both of these here are attack throws. Now, how do I know that these are more attack throws than command throws? I don't. However, usually with command throws, there's a bit of a difference. So command throws normally don't work when the opponent is at high block or hit stunned. So if you do a string and you hit them and they're reeling back with a lot of stun or knockback, then normally if you do a command throw, it's going to whiff. It's going to hit them in their recovery animation. The same with on block. If you do a heavy string and they're in like heavy block stun and you go to cancel into a command throw, it's probably going to whiff. So the fact that these characters here that, they're in a heavy hit stun tells me that this is probably more so an attack throw as opposed to a command throw. This right here shows him doing a juggle into what I would say appears to be a command throw right here. So I think this right here is a command throw. He catches him in a juggled state. This could be an attack throw, but I'm going to say that this is one of his command throws here. And he just grabs him airborne and, yeah, just kind of guts him. It looks like he can amplify it for a little extra damage. So I'm thinking that if you don't amplify it, it just basically knocks him right in front of you. Or you can amplify it and it'll flip him to the other side. Great for also positioning. I'm a big fan of command throw characters that have the ability to control which side you actually want to put the opponent on after the throw has been completed. I'm a huge fan of that, and I love that it looks like that's the route they're going with this here. Okay, then we have his standard throw here. This looks to be just his back throw. So throws him backwards. Now we're going to segue to crushing blows, and of course it wouldn't be a DLC character if he didn't have a crushing blow on one or both of his throws. Here we see, I think this is a forward throw. I'm going to just go ahead and say I believe this is just a standard throw. And of course he has a crushing blow. Now we don't see crushing blows here on both forward and back throws, but he's a DLC character, so he's probably going to get crushing blows on both of them, but we have to wait for his combat cast to actually see. All right, so here is a trip crushing blow. This is something that I think triggers on counter hit. So he has his trip that probably just knocks down. It's also like a high crush, so it's great for going under projectiles. And if you amplify it, he just elbows them in the face. And if it's a counter hit, you probably get the crushing blow on top of that. So I really like how that's awesome. Just knocks him down, crushing blow, bam, elbow right through the skull. Awesome. This right here, I think, is one of my favorite parts of the trailer here. So he crawls under the fatal blow, which is absolutely awesome. Crawls under the fatal blow and, yeah, crushing blow punch right to the face. This, I think, crushing blow is triggered on, you know, if you crawl X amount of space. So if you crawl at or close to the maximum range, or this might be more like Terminator's command run. So kind of like if you run from X amount of space and then you get the tackle, you get the crushing blow. This actually I could see being more so something like that. Or it could just be distance traveled. But I you know, like point A to point B. Like if you travel from the maximum range of this. But I think this could be something that you use like even up close. Like, I don't know how you would set it up like Terminator. Like, but this could be something like that. I really like it either way. I thought it was absolutely awesome. But yeah, I don't think this is triggered by a counter hit. I think this is triggered by a different prerequisite. Now, Rambo actually got a lot of traps. They hinted to traps. He does have traps in this game, obviously. So this one right here, he puts the mine down. You run into it. You explode. You get launched. I think something like this probably stays on block, but not on hit. So it looks like he can put it down and move around. And I'm going to assume that even if he blocks, that you're still going to land on it. But of course, if you hit him, it's probably going to disappear. Then we have some really, really cool traps here. So he puts, he throws some rope out, and that actually hits you. But then this, initially, it might look like two separate moves here, right? So it looks like he throws it out, and then it looks like another move pulls it in, right? So it looks like two separate moves. This also, he has this log trap here. So I'm going to put both of these under traps, and here's why. If you slow down the initial trap, you see he puts the rope down, and then he recalls it. So I'm going to say the tossing of the rope will actually hit the opponent. But once that happens, maybe if you block it, it doesn't work. I'm not really sure how it works. Maybe on whiff or on hit only. We have to wait and see for his combat cast. Either way, once it's out, it looks like he can pull it in, and then he cuts it, and then you fall to the ground. Will he have an amplified version of this where instead of cutting the rope, he kind of stakes the rope in the ground and you're stuck hanging there and he gets a full combo? That sounds really, really cool, but again, we just have to wait and see. But this is definitely under a trap. He puts it out there, and then he can recall it. So I'm going to say that this is definitely, I'm filing this under traps. Now, if we look at his log trap, it looks like he's already got the rope out there, and he bends down and he cuts it and he amplifies it, and then the log comes through. I'm thinking this might be multiple options off the first rope trap we saw where he strings you up, where he throws the rope out, then he has multiple options. Whether this is the meter burn version where he just cuts that and the log comes through, or amplify, I should say. Well, this is the amplify version, and non-amplify, he just strings you up. Or maybe they both have their own amplified versions, and this is just a different option out of that, and this has an amplified and non-amplified version of this as well. We just have to wait and see. Just a lot of possibilities, and that's what makes this so cool. Just unbelievable. This I thought was really interesting. His up 3, or at least what I believe to be his up 3. Now, normally up 3s in this game are invincible, and they leave you stationary. So if they whiff, you know, okay, they're going to be heavily punished. And of course, you can neutral jump them as well. Most of them anyway. This right here, if it whiffs, I don't think you can whiff punish this. And if you neutral jump it and you're a little late on that, he's going to be out of there and go backwards, and you'll probably land on the explosion. This has me think that for them to put something like this in the game, an invincible attack that is almost impossible to whiff punish, I think this signifies that there are a lot of changes to the wake-up system that makes something like this okay. And we're going to find out those juicy details in a future combat cast. But I really like this because I like how it's different than the standard up threes. And yeah, I'd like to see where this is going. If this actually means anything at all. And this right here also really caught my eye. I don't think this is an attack throw or a throw at all. I think this is a special, or it might be part of a string, but I'm going to say it's a special. So he kicks him, and I think he cancels into some special where he rolls past you and then kind of stabs you there. If this is a special, this could be a scenario where, he can cancel out of the roll and then end up, on the other side of you, and you have to guess if he's going to do the attack or not. And if he does the attack, he gets a massive advantage. And if he cancels and you respect it, he can strike throw mix up from there. But also I like that this allows him to reverse positions. Just being able to control his environment, I really, really like that. And just real quick, I'm just going to look at his fatal blow really quick. Not the whole fatal blow, just the range of this here. Doesn't really have much range. It's really fast, kind of like Terminators. I'm okay with this, and they might change fatal blows as well. We don't know if they're going to have armor or whatever, so we're not really sure. Either way, I'm very, very pleased with Rambo. I was a little skeptical coming into this, with a lot of these DLCs, are they going to be very dry, very boring like a lot of the characters we have now? The answer is hell no! These characters are awesome. Rambo is awesome. I can't wait to see the combat cast really kind of see the ins and outs of how this character is going to play. I am very, very pleased with this. And yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on him myself. But let me know what all you think out there. Let me know in the comments below. Do you like what you see? Are you really happy with this gameplay trailer? Are you looking forward to the combat cast? What are some of the things you want to know about? Obviously, it's kind of hard to know how he's going to play because this is a variation game where in a gameplay trailer, you can't tell what's in a tournament variation and what's custom move only. So it does make it hard to really get an idea for stuff, early on. But yeah, I'm excited for the combat cast. And at least right now, for sure, I'm going to say Rambo is absolutely awesome. I can't wait to see how he plays more of the ins and outs, and I definitely can't wait to play him myself. But yeah, again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I really appreciate all the support, and stay tuned for more content.